Good morning, everyone. It's great to see a lot of friends and to make some new acquaintances this morning. I'd like to start with a couple of updates to what would be the planned program. Unfortunately, we've lost one of our panelists this morning to circumstances that couldn't be avoided. David Shane will not be with us. I'd just like to kind of go on record. David is one of our best confidants and mentors, so we really miss having him here this morning, but we'll see him again in the near future. I want to thank, first of all, Greg, and congratulate Greg on his new role, and thanking Greg and the IBJ team for all that they've done to bring this event together for now 3 years. It's really been a remarkable partnership, and we look forward to it continuing for years to come. And we need to identify a couple of people, Kim Harlow from IBJ, Chris Watts from Conexus, for all the work that they've put into the event. As you all know, these things don't come together on their own. They make it painless for the rest of us, and thank you very much for doing that. Okay, a couple of comments before we settle in for breakfast. At your seat, there are 3 items. First of all, there's the agenda for today's program. I think it's pretty straightforward, no big surprises. Secondly, there's today's report card, which Michael Hicks will be talking about in detail in just a few minutes. And the third item is a CD-ROM from Conexus. That CD-ROM, please take it with you, share it with your staff and other friends and confidants. It contains all types of different material. The new strategic plan that was published by Conexus for logistics is in there. Videos on educational programs are there. Those programs have been primarily founded and pushed by Lilly Endowment. We thank them for their cooperation and their mentoring through the years. We also have the Insight supplier database information on there, as well as the report card and other materials. So the CD-ROM is kind of stock full of stuff. Please enjoy it, use it, and if it would beg a question, please call us. We'd love to talk about it. So why are we here this morning? I think Greg's already said it, but just to refresh, manufacturing and logistics is Indiana. It will always be Indiana. 1 in 5 jobs in the state are manufacturing, and when you add logistics, it's 1 in 4. And if we don't measure ourselves in this critical area year after year, we're going to make a big blunder one way or the other, and we need to not do that. This year's report has a lot of information in it. Some of it has changed from prior years, and more importantly, there's a couple of new categories, and Mike will talk about what those are. But as I went through it, I just want to talk about one area, and I won't steal his thunder, and that is human capital and the development of workforce for the state. And it's clear that we're still trailing where we want to be. And to pare it down, there are 3 reasons. There are 3 items we have to address. One is the retirement of a baby boomer generation. It's coming at us faster than we realize. The average age in our manufacturing facilities of our blue-collar workforce is either at or greater than 50 years of age right now. So in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see massive exodus of a big part of our workforce. And when that happens, item 2 kicks in. It's not an apples for apples replacement. You know, we're watching lower skilled manufacturing jobs leave or be replaced, and higher skilled jobs take their place. So it may be 3 doing the work of 5 or 4 doing the work of 5, but it requires a different skill set. So as the baby boomers leave, we have to now go out and start training people with new training methods and programs. We have to get much more industry input into those programs so the industry is the pole. They can look at what's out there, tell the educational institutions what they need, and help create those programs. We need to raise the bar. If there's one thing that is very important to me or touches me more than anything else is when you do raise the bar with this Hoosier workforce, they respond. And they will jump over it, and they will really make you proud. So we have to change the offering, and believe me, they will succeed. And the third thing we have to look at is the perception of manufacturing and logistics. It is a safe and clean environment. It's not what it was 30 years ago. It's technology driven. When you see what's going on in our bigger factories and throughout the industry, you'll be amazed at what the technology is doing and where it's headed. It's no longer the assembly line where one person does one job and passes the work on. It is now a work cell, a self-driven work cell where the employees actually own their work environment, and they're quite proud of that. Input is sought from all members of the team, and there is growth and reward for those who want it. So manufacturing and logistics is changing, and we need to change with it. Last comment for me is to bring attention to the exhibits that are outside. We do focus on workforce development. That's job one for us, always will be. And we look for improvements within the sector for both manufacturing and logistics industries to go along with it. One of the tables outside is our education table. It's where we target human capital issues. And when you hear Dr. Hicks' report, you'll see why it's so important. We're seeking to bring industry, educators, and government together to offer new training programs and new opportunities. Dream It, Do It, which is the catchphrase for our marketing outreach program, is an online program trying to reach the younger generation, but it also hits other workers, those who have been affected by some of the recession and other events. So please stop by, see Claudia Cummins at the education table and find out more about our work there. Secondly is logistics. I mentioned a minute ago that we've just published the first ever Conexus strategic plan for the logistics markets. We're quite proud of it. And for those who don't know, logistics is a $1 trillion business, and Indiana is perfectly situated geographically and with access to infrastructure to be a powerhouse in this cluster. We need to work on those things, and please stop by and see David Holt at the table outside. And the final table is the Indiana Supplier Insight Network. Bottom line, it's a supplier database. It's got over 5,000 companies immediately after opening up already signed. It's Hoosiers Finding Hoosiers. It's an Indiana database. It gives us all a new sight into supply chain opportunities that we have, and we have great partners in the program. A lot of them are in the room this morning, but IDEC is our primary partner along with Secretary of State's Office, Department of Administration, the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, and then of course Conexus and its partners and supporters. So stop by and see Lisa Loeffner at one of the outside tables after the breakfast. Okay, enough of the infomercial and time to get down to maybe some food. But I would like to thank some people very quickly, and again to Greg and to Kim and the entire IBJ team. They're great to work with, and thanks for being such a great partner. To Michael Hicks and his team at Ball State. They not only do great work and bring it to us, but they also are able to dumb it down so we understand it, and we appreciate the effort that they make there. I also want to thank the panelists that you'll meet here shortly. They'll be coming up on stage after breakfast. I want to thank them for taking the time. And also to my partner at Conexus, Carol D'Amico, who will be our moderator. Thanks, Carol, as always. And thanks to all of you for being here today. It shows the importance of what we do, and we do appreciate that support. So enjoy breakfast, and we'll be back to you shortly.